Hi, everybody. It's Lori Zachary, and I'm here to help us learn how to cross post from Poshmark to eBay. So, this is a very beginner course. I'm not a teacher, I'm not an expert in eBay, but I know enough to help people get started. And we're going to talk today about subscriptions and fees. So, we're going to go over those two topics, really try to cover the basics. You might want to get some more education, but I'm going to give you what I know. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is fees, the insertion fee. To list any item is called an insertion fee. So you're inserting it onto the eBay platform. This is best understood as calling it a listing fee. That's what we would pretty much call it, listing fee. We're listing something and it costs something to list. And we are talking about fixed price listings only, meaning buy it now. We're not talking about auctions today. So the insertion fee is something that you have to pay for every single item. However, eBay does give you 250 free listings every single month before you have to start paying those insertion fees, which is really good because they can get very expensive. And I want to explain those a little bit deeper detail so you don't fall into that and get charged more than what you was expecting. So if you list more than 250 items per month, then you'll start paying a 35-cent each listing insertion fee per listing. Now understand this. You get 250 free every month. If you only use 200, that extra 50 doesn't roll over to the next month. You only get 250 every month. The second thing to keep in mind, and let's say you listed 250 items, only 50 of them sold, and 200 of them roll over to day 31, then that automatically counts as 200 of your listings you have for that month. So now you can only list 50 new. So this is where you're going to kind of calculate on a piece of paper, give it some thought, and decide for you, is 250 listings per month enough? And if it's not, maybe you look at a store subscription. And we will talk about that later on in the video. Right now, we're just talking about the insertion fees and the different fees. So an insertion fee is non-refundable. So if your item doesn't sell and you've had to pay for it, like if it's past your 250, then you don't get your money back if it doesn't sell. You are charged per listing per category. So you can choose on eBay to list a coat that's vintage and vintage coats, and also in regular women's coats. Well, that will count as two listings. Okay, and you are also charged every time an item relists. So say you use Vendoo and you take down those listings and you relist them. That's going to count as, say you'd already used up all your 250 and you delist and relist 10 of them. Now you're getting charged 35 cents, so $3.50 to do that. Okay, so you've got to pay attention to that. Also, if they roll over to day 31, they're considered a new listing. Okay, you can use auction and buy it now. And if you want to do that, then you can look into that. And also, you only get charged once for a listing when it's multiple items. So you could have 10 pink shirts in different sizes and list it under one listing, and you'll only be charged for one item. So you'll see a lot of eBay people that actually enjoy getting multiple items because it doesn't eat into their allotment per month of how much they have to list. Now, for me myself, I overkill. I got the big store for 10,000 listings, and I only keep about 1,000 in a month. Okay, so when do we get charged an insertion fee, you guys? Well, eBay gives you those 250 free insertions every 30 days, whether you have a store or not. But once you go over that, you're charged that insertion fee. This is where I'm unsure a little bit. Before, a long time ago, before I had a store and I done this, I feel like you had to have that in your account. I also feel like maybe there was like a monthly, like they tallied up at the end of the month. I'm not sure if you're brand new though. So if anybody knows, let everybody know so we're all educated on that. So let's also talk about another fee. It's called the final value fee. This is only charged if you sell your item, which is what most of us call a commission to sell. So you could compare this to Poshmark's 20% commission. So on eBay, it's called a final value fee, and you only have to pay that once the item sells. So final value fees are different for every category. So if you're watching this and you sell collectibles, automotive parts, different things, you're going to have to look into eBay and see what your fees are, because most of us are coming off of Poshmark. Most of us sell clothing. So that's what I'm focusing this video on. So basically, when we do the final value fees for this video, it's going to be based on clothing and shoes. There's a shoes example in here as well. So clothing, shoes, women's handbags, this is all kind of like the same. This is the same fee or very close to the same fee for any clothing item except for shoes and luxury handbags. So you're going to be charged 15% a total amount if the sale is $2,000 or less, 9% if it's $2,000 or more, and that's per item. So you're going to have a luxury item to get that 9%. Again, this is for fixed price listings only. So here's another example for clothing. If you're selling men or women's athletic shoes, then it's free if the price is $100 or more for the basic fees. And you only get 8% taken out for the final value fee if you sell it for $100 or more. And the 30% is not charged. However, it is 12.9% of the sale if the item is $100 or less. Okay, so how do we calculate the final value fee? Well, we take how much the item sold for, how we also add in the shipping, we add in how much the sales tax was, and we multiply the final value fee by the percentage that was given. For us, 15%. Then after we get that number, then we add 30 cents for the credit card fees, the processing fees, which is very normal on many platforms for them to charge this fee. Shopify and Mercari does it. I'm sure that 20% Poshmark takes part of that as their expense that they cover for us, is that credit card or processing fee. So that's not unusual. It's a little off-putting because you're hearing ching, ching, ching. Come out of your budget, but I'm going to tell you eBay is far, far worth these fees. Keep in mind, they're 15% compared to Poshmark's 20%. And I know you are saying, what did you just say, Lori? eBay charges a commission on shipping charges? Why? Yes, and taxes. Well, there's people out there that don't have best practices on eBay, and they would make an item cost 1 cent, but the shipping 20. So for eBay to protect itself and get what it is deserved, it's part of the commission, they take the commission out of taxes and shipping fees on top of what it's sold. Okay, you guys, now we're going to pause and take a look at an eBay fee calculator. This is nothing you have to do. eBay does all this for you. Get a nice, tidy report at the end. But if this is something that brings you anxiety on the fees, go in and play with this calculator. Do just a few things on it. And I think it's going to relieve some of that anxiety for you. You're going to see it lands around 15 to 16% for most items, and that's not bad. Okay, so these calculators, there's so many of them. So you can just go and pick one, or you can follow the link that's going to be in the description to this one. They are all free. So this is a calculator that calculates eBay fees. It goes a little bit farther on this one, and you can actually put in your cost of goods and all the information, and it tells you what your profit is. But what I'm trying to show you guys is how much the eBay fees are. So you're going to see me put it in 0 for cost of goods. And I didn't put any like promotional fees in because I haven't talked to you guys about that. So this is going to show you how to do it. Hopefully it'll relieve a little bit of anxiety if you are a math person, that you can use this and have some sort of understanding on how it works. I can tell you for most items that we sell, other than those tennis shoes, athletic shoes that are $100 or more, it's about 15 to 16% what the final value fees are. Now, keep in mind that includes shipping and taxes. So it's going to vary on what your shipping is. If you're on the East Coast and you get a lot of customers on the West Coast, your shipping might be a little bit more. So it can fluctuate a little bit, but not very much. So you can be just a little bit more at ease with this information. So if you see and keep following along on this screen, it's going to show you what the fees were on this item, which I put in a $30 item. I put in that the shipping was $5.99 because that's pretty typical. Most things go first class. That they're priority, normally it's about $10, but I picked the first class because that's the bulk of what I sell. And you'll see that the fees were $5.27 on an item that the total profit was $30.72. That's what it was sold for. Once the shipping, once the taxes and all that stuff was considered. So it's not bad. And keep in mind, eBay has millions of people on there shopping. So these fees are actually quite good once you get a hold of it. Now let's talk about optional fees because this is where you have to be careful. I want to bring this to your attention. I don't want you to go in and not pay attention to the fact that bold titles cost extra. If you see that and you just start typing it in or choose it all excited, it's going to cost $4 to $6 per listing. That's a lot. Then there's Gallery Plus, which I think it adds frames, or there's certain things about the photographs that makes it more special. Then if you list the same item twice, like we talked about with the vintage coat, then that is also a double insertion fee. Then we have the subtitles, so you can have a separate title. Those are $2 to $6 each. Now, what's really exciting though is the scheduled listings, which used to be 10 cents each, is now free. So what those are is you could do drafts and you can tell it that you want it to push out like 10 for the next 5 days. So you can almost set Poshmark, quote unquote, forget it. Not exactly. But now let's talk about the store plans. These store plans give you added benefits. The more you pay, the more benefits and tools you have to help your business. But my biggest concern for people is if you think you might go over 250 listings, it is better to get a store than to pay extra insertion fees because it's just do the math. It just makes more sense. Let's take a peek at these. So this is just the basic information. The starter store is $4.95 a month. It's a little bit more if you pay monthly. That $4.95 and the prices I'll be stating is if you paid yearly, so multiply that by 12. Okay, but you're going to get 250 free listings and auction listings every month. And the insertion fee goes down just a little bit if you go over, and it's 30 cents. There's a little bit more perks, but not very much to have the starter store. Now, the basic store is $21.95 a month, again, if you pay yearly, and you get 1,000 listings per month. And the insertion fee goes down to 25 cents if you happen to go over. So again, on the basic store, there's a few more perks if you have the basic store. Go find this information. It's real easy. Just put an eBay store subscription and read all the details. And then there's the premium, which is $59.95 a month. That's what I actually have. You get 10,000 free listings along with auctions. And if you go over, it's 10 cents insertion, and you get even, I think that the basic and the premium may even be about the same. I'm not positive. One of them's about the same, but you get more perks than if you had the smaller store. And the reason I do this store is because sometimes I have over 1,000 items listed. I don't want to be rambunctious and have 1,200 or 1,300 and pay that extra insertion fee. So I go ahead and do the premium store to kind of be safe. I pay yearly, so I get that discount. And I try to, like, for example, on my highest points during the end of the year, I might have 2,000 things listed. So I keep that store and I keep that subscription. And I've often thought maybe I should go to basic, but as soon as I do, I want to have 1,200 listings and I'll go back to it. Okay, you guys, I hope this has been helpful. Again, I am not a teacher. This is not a profession. I fell into this. I am doing this to help people get their eggs in a different basket. So when Poshmark is doing well and eBay isn't, then that's good. You have Poshmark. When Poshmark isn't doing well and eBay is doing well, then great. You have eBay. You have some more stability. If you really focus on eBay I can tell you, and you do it consistently, and you do all the things you need to do, you can make as much on Poshmark or on eBay as you do Poshmark. You could double your income. And just imagine those months, those weeks, those days that not only is Poshmark doing well, but eBay's doing well, and now you've doubled your income, and life will be good. Okay, you guys, if you have any questions, I do one-on-one calls. Please reach out to me. I thank you for listening. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.